Hello viewers, welcome to Ekam Academy. So today we are going to discuss about another significant achievement achieved in terms of space technology. After looking the image behind, you can guess what is it, right? So today a private space agency, that is SpaceX. You know who is the owner of SpaceX, right? It is again Elon Musk. Okay, so this person and its organization, that is SpaceX, they have successfully launched a mission to land on the moon. But what is so significant about this mission means it is the first private mission, and a human landed on this moon after almost 50 years. This previous achievement of landing on the moon by humans was achieved by NASA 50 years ago, like by Apollo 11 mission, where Neil Armstrong was the first person to land on the moon. So that happened in 1969. That means almost after 50 years again, so we are having this particular landing on the moon. So by a private agency, this is the first time. So let's see what is the significant achievement, and we'll look into the other details related to this launch. So here you can see this is a breaking news, Odysseus. So this has successfully touched down on the moon. Okay, so let's see what are the video components, why it is in news. Today it has successfully landed on the moon, and we'll know about this mission. The name of this mission is Intuitive mission. You can say this is as part of this mission there is a lander called Odysseus, or you can say this is also called Nova C lander also. We'll see any other private agencies have tried to land on the moon or not previously. We'll see the earlier attempts, and also we'll look into first moon landing. So we'll know for the first time who landed on the moon and what did they find out. Okay, what are the discoveries they made in the particular landing, we'll understand. Then also we look into NASA's Artemis program, and also we look into Chandrayaan I, II, III differences, because in last 1 year only we have this Chandrayaan III also. So it is very important that UPSC or any other state exams can focus on the differences between Chandrayaan I, II, III. So if everyone goes on with Chandrayaan III, they will cover everything about Chandrayaan III, but UPSC may test about Chandrayaan 1 or 2. So that is why we look into the differences. So now we'll see. This forms part of GS1. Geographical phenomenon is involved in this. We'll know about some geographical things about the moon. At the same time, it forms part of GS3 under science and technology as well. So these are the things, syllabus mapping. Then you can see here why it is in news, because Odysseus, this is the first US spacecraft and private agency spacecraft to land on the moon for the 50 years. In the last 50 years, this is the first time. So you can say this is about this particular feat. You can say this is a private agency and private moon landing from the side of US. So you can say agency called SpaceX. So who is the person? Elon Musk. So he is associated with the SpaceX, and from Florida they have tested in the last 50 years. This is the first time it landed on the moon. So the name of the mission, Intuitive, as I told you, it is carrying around 6 payloads. Okay, so 6 payloads. Will understand what are the main objectives of this, and it is landing on the you can see Malpet A craft, or you can say crater. Crater is nothing but a depression which is there on the moon, which is created by meteorite impact when meteorites hit the moon surface. So this crater type of thing is formed on this particular location. At this particular location they have landed. Okay, and the last time when American spacecraft landed is in 1972, Apollo 17. Okay, Apollo 11 is when the first human landing was made on moon. So then you can see what is the objective. So they wanted to study about the lunar environment. So what is they wanted to study is they wanted to understand what is the composition of the atmosphere. So what are all the things that are available on the lunar atmosphere and the lunar surface? What are the elements of water? So how much element of water is available? All these things are going to look into by this particular launch. You can say then it is the first private lunar landing, as I told you, and it is also a significant achievement in Artemis program. So we'll look into the end. What is the Artemis program? So we have Artemis 1, 2, 3. So we'll look into those details also, and it is part of commercial lunar payload services initiative of ISRO and NASA, and also Artemis campaign. Then we'll understand the payloads. So we have these 5 payloads, and 1 commercial cargo is also sent as part of this mission. Then what is a lander? So lander is getting the solar energy, almost 200 watts of power it can generate from this. And what is a mission engine? How it is working means there are 2 fuels here, methane in the liquid form also, and liquid oxygen. Liquid methane and liquid oxygen are supplied as fuels to this engine to run. Then what is the mission life? If you see the mission life, main thing is it is only operative for 14 days. After 14 days, what will happen means lunar night will set in. Night means on the moon surface, night will set in. So after that, sunlight will not be there. As I told you, the engine is powered by solar energy, so it cannot run over then. Okay, that is why only for 14 days it will be operative. Then we'll understand the functions. So here you can see it is studying the interactions between on the lunar surface and the plumes. So what are plumes? Plumes are nothing but clouds of gas and vapor. So what are located on the moon. So these may be created due to meteorite or asteroid collisions on the moon. So first thing you have to know how the moon is born or how the moon was formed means whenever there is, so on the earth only when there is a meteoroid collision and asteroid collision which happened previously. So some part of the earth or some stone you can say or some stony part of the earth got divided from this, and also the impactor which has collided with the earth, those remains have formed the moon subsequently. And moon is the only natural satellite for the earth, and it is very interesting to know that we have found the water element also on the moon. So previously there used to be so many volcanoes that got erupted on the moon, but now they have all become dormant. So we'll understand more in detail later, but now for the time being, we'll understand what are the functions of this particular mission. So it is going to conduct radio astronomy experiments. Radio astronomy means to conduct astronomical experiments, they will use radio waves as frequencies. So this is one main objective of the mission. At the same time, precision landing means the targeted site will be predetermined. There only they wanted to land. So communication and navigation also will be part of this mission. Then you can say future implications. So from this mission, although it is privately owned or government owned, we are going to get some data or some observations will be sent from this mission. Those things will certainly aid in this Artemis program, which is going to be conducted by NASA in 2024 and 2025. We have Artemis II to be launched in 24 and Artemis III is scheduled for 2025. We'll see those. And now we look into any earlier such attempts made by private agencies. We are discussing only about private, not country space agencies here. So there is some attempts, like you can see there are some attempts like Israel's Beresheet. This was tried in 2019. Then you have Japan's Hakuto, this is in 2023. Then you have American Peregrine in 2024. Do remember, this is the first private agency launched by US. Okay, so but all these three failed. That is why we are not going to discuss about these in detail. So all these three were attempts previously by private agencies to land on the moon, but those all crashed and they couldn't give data. So this is a second mission because it is not the US first private agencies, but it is a second private agencies mission from the side of US. Then how many countries succeeded on soft landing on the moon? You should know what is soft landing. Soft landing is they should touch down the lunar surface without any crashing. That means whatever the payloads are there or the engine, that should not get crashed. So touchdown should be in a smoother manner, then we can call it as a soft landing. So how many countries have achieved soft landing so far means 5 countries you can see here. US, Soviet Union, China, India and Japan. So in the recent times we have Japan also demonstrated, and what is the Japan's mission, moon mission is named after, comment in the comment section. Then we'll know about Apollo 11. Why we are knowing about Apollo 11 is because it is the first time when humans have landed on the moon by this mission. So we'll understand when it was launched in July 16, 1969. Then you can understand after July 16, when did they land on the moon? July 20th. Okay, so it has landed on the earth again on July 24th. Then we'll understand significance of this. It was the first time mans have landed on the moon. Then you can see launch rocket was Apollo 11, and it was launched from Kennedy Space Center in Florida. It is part of this Apollo program. A series of satellites was launched as part of this program. Then who are all the crew members? Means at the time 3 members were sent as part of this mission. Neil Armstrong, who was the first person to land on the moon, and along with him Buzz Aldrin is there, and also you have Michael Collins. Okay, so this person did not land on the moon. He remained in the cabin itself, but these 2 members have landed on the moon, and they have conducted some experiments for almost 2 hours. They have rounded, you can say they have walked all over the surface of the moon. You can see almost for 2 hours they have conducted their experiments, and they have collected some rock samples and soil samples, and also they have flagged down this American flag there. And also they have almost been there on the surface of the moon for 21 hours and 36 minutes. That is the first time when humans made their presence on the moon. Then we'll know about what is Artemis program of NASA. So Artemis is a series of 3 programs, you can say Artemis 1, 2, 3. So Artemis 1 was launched last year itself in 2023. That is uncrewed mission. Uncrewed means there won't be any humans that will be sent as part of that mission. So next one, Artemis 2 is scheduled to be launched in 2024, where there is a crewed mission, means some humans will be sent in 2025. Artemis 3 is going to be launched. That is also again with humans. They are going to test again. Humans are like being sent into the mission, so that again they are going to land some humans into that particular lunar orbit or lunar surface, you can say. So this is a rocket without crew, and Artemis mission 1 will understand what is the radiation impact on the woman, because as part of Artemis 3, woman is also there, okay, to be sent on to the moon, and also how they have to protect in case of any radiation and all, they have to know. So it will travel almost 280,000 miles from the surface of the earth in its course. Then we have this aim. So what is the Artemis 1 aiming at? Means to land on the moon successfully by 2024. As I told you, Artemis 2 itself is a crew mission. So they'll land the moons it is like a trial test. Like same way we have Gaganyaan also. No? In Gaganyaan also we are conducting some unmanned flights. Then we are sending some Yomitra scientific robot. Then we are sending the humans along, 2 men and 1 woman. So like this we are planning the same way. It is also the same. You can see here first woman and first person of color also will be sent here. Scientific discovery and economic benefits also will be there. So we'll understand how the moon surface is there, what are the rocks and mineral, soil composition and all further things. Then spacecraft. So here Orion spacecraft is going to remain in the space without any docking. Means they don't get attached or they don't move into the space station. They will remain in the Orion spacecraft itself. That is one major thing, a part of Artemis 1. Then we'll understand what are the space agencies involved in this. It is not only by NASA, but Canadian Space Agency, European Space Agency and Japanese Space Agency all are involved in as part of this mission, Artemis mission. Then you can see here the differences between Artemis 1, 2 and 3. So Artemis 1, as I told you, uncrewed mission. Again, as part of Orion spacecraft, they are sending into the moon. Already they have sent in 2023 itself. Then we have this Artemis 2, that is in 2024. It is scheduled actually. We'll see how it will happen. It will be the first crewed flight test from the again Orion spacecraft only. Then this is for 2025 they have scheduled. Here also it is planning to send, okay, again along with the crew, they'll land and they'll move over the moon. So these are the Artemis 1, 2, 3 missions. Now let us understand the differences between Chandrayaan 1, 2, 3. So that is very important for you, because UPSC may go beyond and it can ask the questions related to the differences. So you should know Chandrayaan 1, 2, 3. So for that you need to know when it was launched. So Chandrayaan 1 was launched in 2008. You should know the launch vehicle also, PSLV C2. Then what is the main objective at that time? What did we send? Means a propulsion module, like you can say module was sent and orbiter was sent. So whether it was successful or not means yes, it was successful. Almost for 312 days it was operational, and also it was the first time that we have discovered the presence of water. Hydroxyl molecules were identified by Chandrayaan 1 mission itself. That means we have made some scientific discovery with respect to presence of water on the moon for the first time. That means we Indians only have achieved this feat of finding presence of water on the moon. Later on, some other agencies also have, you can say, conducted some further experiments and they have found more evidence. But for the entire world, we are the first ones to give this information. Proud to be Indians, right? Then you should know almost this is a launch vehicle and how many years it is, like how many days it was operational means 312 days. Later on what happened is the orbiter got this operational, you can say. It was built in India only, and you know this is a weight of the payload and all, you need not remember. But what is the main objective of Chandrayaan 1? You should remember. Then Chandrayaan 2, if you remember, this was launched in 2019. So you know this. Although you cannot say this is a failed mission because only the lander has crashed, but orbiter, what we used in Chandrayaan 2, that even that has remained for almost 1 year. So with this only we didn't even launch orbiter for Chandrayaan 3, because this orbiter 2 which is launched as part of Chandrayaan 2 was operational, even that is what we used for Chandrayaan 3. So even that you have to remember. Here there is lander, rover and orbiter. 3 are there as part of this mission, and you know this is launched by GSLV Mk3 launch vehicle. Then it is operational almost for 365 days, and almost 4 Indians and 1 from spacecraft, 1 NASA payload was sent as part of this mission. Then India aimed to become the 4th country to soft land on the moon, but you know, lander crashed over, so rover also couldn't erupt out and it could not conduct some experiments. Then we should know about Chandrayaan 2 and 3 differences. This, you know, Chandrayaan 2 was launched in 2019, this was launched in 2023, you know, okay. Then Chandrayaan 3, with Chandrayaan 3, what happened? India not only achieved the successful soft landing on the moon, but became the first country to land on the southern pole of the moon. So till now, no other country, because always as moon is a natural satellite of the earth, always it will rotate in the synchronous motion with respect to earth. That is why always one side of the moon only will be projected towards the earth's surface. So the other side of the moon will be darker. That is what we consider southern pole of the moon. So it is very difficult to land over there. But India have achieved that feat with this Chandrayaan 3. So it is very significant. And you can see how many days it has taken to travel is 42 days. And as part of this mission, we didn't send any orbiter. As lander and rover got crashed in the Chandrayaan 2 mission, we have sent a fresh lander and rover. What are the names of lander and rover? Answer in the comment section. So we have used the same orbiter data which we have sent as part of Chandrayaan 2, and we didn't have a separate orbiter for Chandrayaan 3. So these are the things which you need to know, and the comparative differences is very important. Now it's time for practice question. You can see here, consider the following statements regarding Chandrayaan 3. It will consist only a rover lander and will communicate the Earth via the orbiter from Chandrayaan 2. Chandrayaan 3 mission was done in collaboration with Japanese space agency JAXA, which provides rover and the launcher. Then which of the above statements are correct? 1 only, 2 only, both 1 and 2, neither 1 nor 2. Then my mains question for practice. Discuss India's achievements in the field of space technology, how the application of this technology has helped in its socio-economic development. This is a mains question for practice. So as we have come to the end of the discussion here, we have discussed about today's successful launch of this Odysseus mission on the landing on the moon, and we also have seen what are the previous attempts made by private agencies to land on the moon, and also we have seen how many countries have achieved the feat of soft landing on the moon. At the same time, we also have seen what are all the countries that have tried to land on the moon. At the same time, we have discussed about the differences between Chandrayaan 1, 2 and 3, and also we have looked into Artemis mission of NASA. So these are all the things which we have discussed as part of this video. Thank you for watching. Have a good day.